All right, guys, what's going on? It is Saturday night. I'm sitting here at home, which I never am on a Saturday night. Uh, say hello if you guys are out there because I have no idea if this is even working or not. But figured I'd come on here. I am never home on Saturday night, as most of you know. I'm out gigging, and tonight it got canceled. I'm in the Chicago area. Uh, I believe it's like negative 14 or something. Somebody told me outside. So that's crazy. So figured I'd come out here and hang out. If you're out there in live land, say hello. Let me know you're here with me. Victor, my man. Well, we're not face to face, but it feels like we are. Man, good to have you out here live. I didn't even know. Somebody just texted me and said, I didn't know you were going live. I didn't know I was going live either. I actually went on here to just kind of fool around with this. Got new streaming software and wanted to just check it out and make sure everything was working. Like I said, normally I'm out on Saturday night gigging, but I'm here in Chicago and we're like negative 14 tonight. So the show got canceled. Nobody's coming out. We're basically just hibernating. Where are you guys at? Let me know. I think it's pretty much freezing nationwide from what I understand. We're all hibernating. I got my coffee, got my guitar, my dog's around here. Callie was here a minute ago. If she comes back, I'm gonna put her on. But to the dogs, coffee, and guitars. Dog. Um, Connie's not here. She's at Theater Fest. I know some of our students are there as well. So chime in, you guys. But Victor, how's it going? It's probably not that cold where you're at, Victor. I'm guessing. Hey, Paulette. Jeez, how you been? Been a long time. Um, I'm sorry. Does that say Knox, Indiana? I'm assuming. Wait, Victor, 74. Wow, 74. I'm jealous. 74 degrees. We're negative 74, I think. No, I'm kidding. We're negative 14, I believe. But figured I'd come on here for a little bit and just say hello to you guys, and hopefully some of you are out there jumping in. Knox, Indiana. Okay. I knew you were out in Indiana, Paulette. I just didn't know. Jen, what's going on? How are you? I didn't know where you were at, Paulette, in Indiana, or maybe I did, but I'm sorry. But Knox, Indiana. So I'm assuming you love it out there. Um, oh, good. Thanks, Victor. Thanks for letting me know. Like I said, I got some new streaming software on here. I'm gonna be doing this more often, but just wanted to come on and hang out with you guys on a cold Saturday night here in Chicago. Yeah, Paulette, I know it's weird. Seems like we used to see you guys all the time, performing and whatnot. And but we will again. That's for sure. Oh, thanks, Victor. Yes, this is a Les Paul Silver Burst, and it's weird. I'm going to be doing a review. I'm so bad at getting these in the camera. I'm going to be doing a review on this one pretty soon. This is one of the original, very first made Silver Burst. Now I know Gibson has the Adam Jones model and all those that are real popular, but this is a 1978, and we've traced the serial number and talked to Gibson about it. And this is actually one of the very first ones made. It's got the knobs on there, volume tone with the words, which you only saw on the 78 models. Another thing you can look for is the Gibson logo without the I, without the dot on the I should say. That's always a giveaway. And this is just turned yellow, really. It's like almost like a gold burst. Just super, super cool guitar. 1978 was the first year they put the Silver Burst out. And yeah, it's just a beautiful guitar. Got the T-top pickups in there. Anyways, what else is going on out there in Cyberland? I'll be at the House of Blues in Chicago February 1st. I played there back in December with Connie, and we'll be back there February 1st, which is a Thursday night at House of Blues in Chicago. So if you're in the Chicago area, get down there. I know it's a Thursday night, but call in sick to work and come hang out. Got to get your priorities straight. Get down and hang out at the House of Blues. Yeah, Victor, you're right. 74 is cold for you guys, but we're jealous here in Chicago. We're freezing. So yeah, that's very. You're right though. 74 is cold. Played a gig last night, and it wasn't that bad. It was weird. A lot of people were hibernating last night too, and um, the people that did come out were saying like tonight's fine. Tonight's the night to be out. Tomorrow night's the night to hibernate, which is of course now tonight. So Saturday night is the night to not be out. It's pretty cold here in Chicago. Somebody else was talking about how we've all just gotten, spoiled because Chicago used to be just known for brutal winter weather. I don't want to say it was always like this necessarily. This is pretty cold, but it was close to it, and a lot of snow and a lot of cold. So we have kind of been spoiled the last couple of years. Because I remember even being in Detroit as a kid, walking home after, dropped off at the bus and the plows had come. And I remember walking on the snowbanks going along the road, and like the cars were below me because they were so tall. It just seems like we don't get snow like that anymore. Uh, it's weird. I don't know if it's global warming or what you want to call it, but something definitely seems like it's going on. Yeah, strong winds too, which is the scary part, Victor, because you know I'm always thinking like, wow, what are we gonna do if the power goes out? That would not that would not be good. I have an acoustic guitar, so I could keep playing guitar, but that it would get real cold real quick. So that would not be good. I do have my coffee, but I wouldn't have a way to make that either. So yeah, that would not be good. What are you guys up to? What's everybody listening to today? That was my question on Facebook earlier. I got out the Dwayne Allman Sky Dog retrospective, and it it's just an awesome thing if you get to hold on, you guys. I'm answering people that are uh writing to me right now. Um but anyway, the Sky Dog anthology um from Dwayne Allman came out in 2013, I believe, 7 CDs. And Dwayne used to do studio work at Muscle Shoals and all that stuff. So he played on like, Aretha Franklin tracks and Wilson Pickett and all that stuff. And all that stuff's on there, plus a lot of the Allman Brothers stuff, Derek and the Dominoes, just a whole retrospective. And wow, I mean, Dwayne just I'm a disciple of Dwayne Allman, so I mean I'm always listening to his stuff, but um, you know, more obviously Allman Brothers all the time, but to go back and listen to those studio tracks that Dwayne did, it's just crazy. Wow, Tammy, my cousin Tammy is on here. What is going on, Tammy? Wow. Is it? I know you guys have. I know it's cold in Vermont too, obviously. But I don't know what temperature you guys are at. We're at -14. Um, how's it going, Tammy? Hopefully, hope all is well with you. James Myers. Wow, you guys, this is cool. Cool to see everybody. That's why I jumped on, because I was thinking, uh, it's probably like this pretty much nationwide for the most, but colder than you're used to, as Victor said. So I figure everybody's probably just sitting in tonight. Figured I'd come on here. I'm usually out every Saturday night, like I said, but the gig got canceled tonight because of the cold. So I figured I would drop on here. Um, Victor, is she your cousin also? Wait, we're all related, right? In some ways. But Tammy, wow, it's great to hear from you. Yeah, obviously we all have great childhood memories of our cousins, right? And boy, I certainly have some with Tammy. We go back obviously to when I was this big. So yeah, that's good. But she probably is your cousin, Victor, because we have the same last name, so I'm sure we're related somewhere down the road. 34 degrees and wind. 34. Wow, that's actually not that bad. I mean, I'm not like trying to belittle the cold here, but yeah, we're -14, I think it said on the when I checked last. Actually, I can tell you right now. Um, what are we are well 6 degrees, but I heard it's -14 with the wind chill. So yes, 6 degrees feels like -14 with the wind chill. Wow, that's crazy. I'll take 34. Father's family from upstate New York, outside of. Really, Victor? I never knew this. Cooperstown, yes, no, baseball Hall of Fame, know it well. We are the BB name is from the Vermont area. So yeah, that's getting weirder now. We're getting closer. Cooperstown, New York, Burlington, Rutland, Vermont was my old stomping grounds. Well, Vermont's a small state, so the whole state was my stomping grounds. But so Tammy, you're back in Vermont. I know you were gone for a while, but I think I did know you were back in Vermont. What part of Vermont are you in now? Um, and who's this Roxy Connie Todd that's coming on here? What is this? Somebody hacked my account. No, Connie's on here. I know it in normal. Normal. That's an interesting name. I always thought that was an interesting name for a town, Normal, because there's nothing normal about it. Yes, the BB. Well, the BB name is, from what I understand, what I've been told, the BB name was Welch. I know my grandmother was Cherokee Indian, but that was not on the BB side. Um, so she obviously took my grandfather's name, and it was his side that was, I guess, the BB name is Welch. But anyway, we're getting off into family history here. But I've always wondered about that, Victor. It's been like ever since. Applause for Victor. Victor's been on this channel from like day one, pretty much, as a subscriber. But we've always been trying to figure out if we're related somewhere down the road, because you don't see that name come up very often. BB, it's pretty unique. So when I first saw Victor on here, I was like, wait a minute, what? Like, I don't. And so I'm sure we have to be related somewhere. Been back here in Rutland since March of 2020. That's right. I knew you were in Connecticut. Um, yeah, great memories of Rutland, Vermont. Wow, the corner. Um, I don't remember what that place was even called, but we all used to walk down there to just get like snack. I remember we collected pop bottles from every. Tammy, do you remember this? We were sitting home, and the parents were out, and it was all of us kids, cousins, and we were all broke. Nothing's changed, but we back then we went around and knocked on everyone's door. We had a radio flyer, and we asked everybody for their bottles, and people were like, "Yeah, get these things out of here," and they we got a lot of money with that, and we went and blew it on snacks at the same place we returned the bottles at. But I don't remember the name. Tammy, you would know the name of that place. I can't remember, but it was like right down. I know you would pull out of your driveway, go right, go down to the end of the street, go left, and it was somewhere over in that vicinity. Then there was one up on the other corner too, when you'd pull out of your driveway and turn left. And actually, I stopped at that one a few years back. Dad passed away. It was up in Vermont for the funeral. Happy times, but and stopped in there, and that one is still there, but not the one that was to the right. So anyway, who was no, Jim, you're right about the Arctic temperatures, but it's weird. Chicago weather, we haven't had this, like, it hasn't been like this the last couple of years. It's been pretty mellow compared to like tonight, or last year was completely mellow. Might get the dog on here if she's coming around. She was here a minute ago, but I think she's crashing out again. She's had a long day. She was out rolling around in the snow a while ago, and it's funny because um, sub-zero temperatures, and here's Callie. She's always been like that, just out rolling around. It's like, dog, you can't stay out here in this stuff, but dogs know better than we do, so maybe they can. I think she'll let me know when she's ready to come in. James, can't believe they're discontinuing the Les Paul Classic. Yeah, I know. I'm assuming you're talking about. I did the video on that last week. They'll bring it back. I think the Classic first came out in 1990, and they've always done that. They like drop it, they bring it back, they drop it. So it'll come back. The one I demonstrated in that video had like the push pull pots on it, which are really cool. Just check out all the videos on this channel. The older one, the 2001 that I reviewed, that was back when it had 1960 on the pick guard, and it was more of a throwback. And it's weird. The classics used to be more expensive. When they first hit in 1990, they were considered like a higher end Les Paul, and they actually cost more. Victor, I think we were talking about this. I think you commented after that. And they were actually more than the Les Paul Standard was. But then that somewhere, I'm going to say the late 90s, early 2000s, that switch came around. I can't tell you what the switch was based on or whatever, but besides the Les Paul Studio, which I love, I know a lot of purists are they're too good to play a studio, but not me. I think they're fantastic guitars. And the best bang for the buck, as I like to say, but the Classic would be second in line after the studio because it's got the binding and everything. And they'll bring it back, though. Don't worry about that. They always do that. I'm guessing either, if not 2024, 2025, we'll see it again. It'll have different features on it. Kehoe's Market, or Grove Street Market. Yes. I think Grove Street was to the right. Kehoe's was to the left. I'm having a separate conversation with my cousin Tammy about yes, where we used to take the pop bottles back to get money when we were broke kids. Should start doing that again. Now we're just broke adults, but you can't go around and ask people for pop bottles anymore. If we could, I probably would. That's kind of wow. It's like, it's weird to think about. We're broke kids, broke adults, but hey, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. It's money's certainly not the answer to everything. I bought my 94 Classic because kind of like Jimmy Page. Yeah, exactly. They were and the older ones, like your 94, were just straight up Les Pauls. Maybe not like this because this is a custom, but meaning, 2-volume, 2-tone, 2 humbuckers. I know they always had the hotter, I believe it was the 498 and the 500 pickups in those. So they always had a hotter sound, which I liked. I never really got that. I mean, everybody's got their thing in the guitar world, and I totally respect that. But from my perspective, it's like, if I don't like a guitar, I'll just try a different one. To me, to make all of your guitars sound the same, I don't really relate to that. Like, everybody didn't like those hotter pickups in the Les Paul Classics in the early 90s. A lot of people didn't, and I liked them because they were different. If I didn't want those, I'd put it down and pick up a different Les Paul. You know what I mean? So it's like, I had a big conversation with Warren Haynes about that several years ago, and he's the same way. He's not a big swap out the pickups guy. He'll pick up the guitar. If it's if he's not feeling it, he's out of there. On to the next one. I'm pretty much the same way. I'm not big on swapping out pickups on it, but if you are, I totally respect that. I'm just saying that's the way I feel. Love you too, Tammy. Thanks so much for jumping on here. This is great. I'm going to be doing this more often in the new year. I said I was gonna a little while ago when I came out here, and it's been some time. And I didn't even know I was going on tonight, you guys. So this is cool that so many of you are coming on to say hi. This is awesome. Jim and Victor and Tammy and Paulette and whoever else is on here. Thank you guys for jumping on. I just completely came on here as a fluke because, like I said, Connie, who was on here, I don't know if she's left, is down at Theater Fest in Normal, Illinois, with her students from Lincoln Way West. Yay, Lincoln Way West Warriors. And so it's me and the dog here. And the gig got canceled for tonight. So here I am. Just thought I'd come out here and say hi to everybody, see what's going on. Like I said, we'll be at the House of Blues. I'll be at the House of Blues. Connie has more theater commitments. February 1st, Thursday, 6 to 10. So make sure you go down there and spend some time with us here in Chicago at the House of Blues. What other cool things? Like I said, what's everybody listening to out there? History-wise, I posted a thing earlier too. Live at Folsom Prison, the Johnny Cash album was recorded on this day in 1968. Didn't get released until May of 68, but they actually recorded the album today at Folsom Prison. June Carter was there, of course, and Carl Perkins, who played with Cash in the late 60s. And obviously they came up off the Sun label as record label mates there in the 50s. But even the modern day classic is every bit as nice as the standard. Yeah, Jim, I totally agree. The classic, I always loved that 60s slim taper neck on those guitars. It just feels really, again, a lot of people don't like that, but I always loved that 60s neck. It's a lot faster, I think, to play on. Yeah, I always thought the classics were great. I know we have more of them coming in here, so I hope to be doing reviews on all of them. But a couple people wrote and were saying they wanted to run out and get one because they discontinued them. But first of all, there's like a million of them out there, so you can always find them on the used market. And Gibson's done this several times. I talk about that in my review I did last week. To check that one out, that I remember in early 2000s, like 2001, I remember looking at some in a big chain guitar store that we all know, and I remember looking at them, and the sales guy, which is one of the reasons I've never been a fan of those places, might as well go to a car dealership. But he came up and he was like, "Oh, you better grab that now. They discontinued them. They're not making it next year." And it was like the following year it came right back out again. So they'll definitely be putting the classic out again. But I agree, Jim, the newer classics were even great, or better than the standards. I love them. House of Blues is in Chicago, Tammy. There's a bunch of them. House of Blues are like all over nationwide. It's a chain, but they're obviously there's one in Chicago, but that's the one I'm playing at. Played there back in December, but I know they've got them all over nationwide. There's several locations, but I will be at the one here in Chicago on February 1st. First recording I bought was A Boy Named Sue. Yeah. I love that Johnny Cash album. I remember putting it on. My grandparents had that. I believe it was my uncle's record, but it was just in that record collection. And I when I was a kid, I used to put that on, and there was all these like, Cash is saying all these like curse words and stuff, and it was like, whoa, this is great. That was the first thing that drew me into it. But then because it was like, oh wow, I'm not supposed to be listening to this, but listen to what this guy's saying. And Cash always had that edge to him, and I just loved that. Yeah, you can never go wrong with Johnny Cash. It was just funny as a kid. That was like an extra bonus. What are you listening to in there? Oh, it's Johnny Cash. Oh, okay, that's okay then. because that's my whole family was country music. So that was okay, even if he was, you know, dropping the F bomb and whatever else he was saying. But I don't think that's on there. But there's a couple of them on that album that just for that time, especially, were like, whoa, listen to what he's saying. But just a great raw album. Live at Folsom Prison. I mean, that's Johnny Cash personified right there. The Live at San Quentin album is awesome too. I like both of those. Somebody was asking me about that a while ago, which one I liked better. I'm gonna still go with Folsom Prison because I remember there was a whole book about the history of that came out a few years back. I can't remember the guy's name that wrote it, but it's awesome if you can get it. And I remember reading that, and basically they were talking about how the Columbia executives, after Folsom Prison hit, it was a huge success and they wanted to duplicate that. So no coincidence, shortly after, it's like, guess what? Live at San Quentin. Here we go. We're just going to do live prison albums with Johnny Cash every 2 years. And it's like they were trying to cash in on that. Not to take away from it at all. That's an awesome album, too. Almost neck and neck with Folsom Prison, but I would give Folsom the nod because it's, from what I understand of reading that book, the record company at first was like, you guys want to go in and record an album in a prison? Wait, what? Like they thought he was out of his mind. And I don't know if they necessarily fought him, but Columbia Records wasn't exactly like, yeah, let's do this. They were kind of like, okay, yeah, let's do this. You got to fulfill your contract anyway. So, all right, let's do a live album at a prison. And then it just completely hit. And then after that, they were like, what about let's do one over here? And then that's, I guess, how Live at San Quentin came to be, which of course has a boy named Sue and all that on it. But both just awesome. That was an era there for Johnny Cash that there was like 3 eras for Cash that are awesome. His very first stuff at Sun, his stuff right there in the late 60s where he kind of peaked there and he was doing San Quentin, Folsom Prison, that stuff. And then the 80s and all that weren't too kind to Cash, but then he hooked up with Rick Rubin and did those American recordings, and when he passed away, he was still doing those. And those are the 3. I love those American recordings that Rick Rubin did too there at the end of Cash's life. Just great stuff. Yeah, Paulette, that definitely that album is great. Like I said, as a kid, it was like, you weren't supposed to say those words. Here's Cash just swearing away on this live album. It's like, whoa, what are we listening to here? Yeah, pretty funny. But who's got their coffee out there? I know I've got mine. Like I said, there's not much going on here tonight. We're just hanging out because usually I'm out playing somewhere, but I am not tonight. What am I drinking here? This is actually San Francisco coffee is what this is. I don't know if Connie's still on here or not, but she would know. We make this sometimes. And San Francisco is just an awesome coffee company. They make I don't know if you've seen those, like the K cups for obviously for Keurigs and whatnot, but they're like biodegradable, so they're not just all plastic like a standard Keurig. They're basically, they can go into the landfill and it's all biodegradable stuff. So you're not trashing the planet with extra plastic. And San Francisco is an awesome coffee company. Hannah, hot cocoa, no coffee over here. That's right. You're not a coffee drinker. What? Wow. We have to fix that, Hannah. Hannah, by the way, is going to be working with us at our store, studio, all about music and children's theater here in the Chicagoland area, Mokina. But so we have to, yeah, we're going to do a big official introduction for you, Hannah, here sometime soon. We're going to do it like this weekend, but then Connie bailed on me. So we have to get that together. I'll have to ask her if she wants me to post that later, but I know Hannah put a bio together and whatnot, and we're gonna introduce the world to her here pretty soon. Cup of coffee, Tammy. Yes, I know. Coffee is just like, wow. Whoever the person was that like said, let's take this bean and smash it and run some water over the top of it and heat it up. This, like, I don't know how they came up with that, but that is, forget the iPad and forget all the Apple products and all, that pales in comparison, in my opinion, to the first person who came up with coffee. I mean, come on. Like, crush up a bean and run some water over it. Like, come on. That's even out of Bill Gates' element. I'm sorry. That's genius personified right there. But anyways, what else is going on? Come out next Saturday. Come out to Digs on Canal in Lamont. We will be out there. That's our home base. So come out there and see us 5 to 8. We're out there on Saturday nights. French vanilla. Yes. I do have a theory that I don't know if any of you like those, like what is the brand, that the cream that's flavored French? There's a bunch of them, but there's one that's like really big. I can't think of the name of it. But I do have a theory that all the flavored creams are just really French vanilla. or if they're not, that's like the like the base. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you work at a paint store, there's like the base, and if you're gonna make a different color of paint, you start with the base, and then you add a little of this and a little of that, and there's your new color. So I have a theory that French vanilla is like the base at the creamer company making this stuff. Boy, you can tell I'm like stuck at home tonight, guys. I'm just pulling stuff out of the air, but that's all right. I needed somebody to hang out with, so I'm glad you're all here. Coffee Mate, that's it. Yes, Coffee Mate. That's the one I was looking for. There's one other one too, which I guess would be like number 2. But yes, Coffee Mate is a big one. But they all kind of taste like, to me, they come out with these like limited edition, like, peppermint candy cane delight for Christmas, and it's like, this is French vanilla. It all kind of tastes like, I don't know. That's just my opinion. It all tastes like French vanilla. But what do you guys think? We're having big discussions here. First world problems. We're saving the planet talking about coffee creamers. But anyways, back to guitars a little bit here. This is a Les Paul Silver Burst. So bad at getting these in the light. And it actually looks like a gold burst at this point. Silver Burst true colors look like this. There's just guitars everywhere here. That would be what's called a Silver Burst. But through the year, this is a newer Silver Burst, which has not quite faded out and aged out, and that's what this one looks like. This is from 1978. This is from 2003. So this is actually old enough to drink. This is 21 years old this year, but it's been kept in climate controlled areas, and not in that has a lot to do with it. So it has not aged. The binding hasn't yellowed, but these are like the same finish, but boy, they don't look like it, do they? So like, anyways, this is a different kind of paint because it's newer. This supposedly was an automotive paint that was used on these original silver bursts. And then Adam Jones from the band Tool was the first guy that kind of played one that had a name. And ever since then, these have taken off. They gave him his own model. And a lot of these earlier ones, like this 79, I believe, is Adams' one that he's known for playing. And that particular year has become really big. But the first year they came out was 78, and that's what this is. Supposedly, this finish was made for a 25th anniversary for the Les Paul, which came out in 52. So technically 77 would have been the 25th year. And I guess there is one 1977 floating around out there. And I know there's a prototype, but then 78 hit and they did a few of these. And we talked to Gibson, and this is actually one of the very, very first ones ever made, going by the serial number. So very cool. Oh, James, thank you. I appreciate it, man. I will talk to you soon. Thanks for being on the channel. Thanks so much, you guys. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Spread the word. I'm kind of new at this YouTube thing. For years, most of you that know me, I do music full time, and I have for years, and I've taught guitar lessons for as long as I can remember. And my students have told me for years, especially when YouTube started picking up, they're like, you have to do this. There's guys that you need. No, I'm not doing that. And I probably should have. I said, oh, no, I'm not doing that for 100 years. And now I feel like I'm late to the party. The YouTube guitar channels have been going on for years. I feel like I'm walking into the, YouTube guitar party years later and going like, hi, and everyone's over in the corner, but that's okay. I've been doing this a long time, and I'm happy to just be on here. I told myself when I was coming on here starting this thing, I'm just gonna do it and have fun. I'm not trying to set any records here or be any big thing or whatever. I just want people on board and subscribing that want to be here and love good music and guitars like I do. And so I'm just happy to connect with any of you that are on here. Thanks, Tammy. Yes, thanks for checking in. I know I'm just babbling on and on. So if you guys have to go, go. I'm just hanging out here because it's cold and I got nowhere to be. But yes, Tammy, take care of yourself. I will see you again. James, the 78. I'm holding it. I've got two of them here. This one, the 78, it's awesome. It's really cool to see how it's aged like that. And like I said, if you look at that Gibson logo, there's no dot on the eye. But traditionally, of course, on Gibsons, like this one here, you do have a dot on the eye. So it's kind of a weird 1978 was a year that they did that on their guitars. So there's just little things you can always look for like that, especially on these silver bursts. If you see one like that and it doesn't have the dot on the eye right away, you're like, that's probably a 1978. The other thing would be, like I said, the labeled. I don't know if you can see that, but on the knobs there, it says like volume, tone are labeled. That's the other thing for the 78. So these are very cool. Thanks, James. I appreciate it. Thanks for being on board too. It's awesome to have you here. Anybody that loves guitars and stuff and great music, like I said, spread the word. If you got anybody that's into this type of thing, usually we do something a little. We don't just sit here babbling like I. This is a different thing, you guys. I'm just doing this tonight because I'm sitting at home and it's cold and the gig got canceled. So we're hanging out. Usually, check out below. There's all kinds of interviews on here. Always doing guitar reviews. Got some lessons. Got some great interviews. Don Felder from the Eagles, Peter Frampton Charlie Daniels, I got to interview before he passed away. George Thorogood, George Benson, Dion, Ricky Medlock from Leonard Skinner, Felix Cavallari from the Rascals, Jim McCarty, my great friend. There's just a lot of great interviews on there. You can read a lot of them on my Facebook page, Todd Beebe Music, and then a lot of them I have started to convert to audio parts of them so you can hear us talking too. I've put a lot of those up, so definitely check those out. Thanks, James, I appreciate it. Yeah, either some of these guitars are mine, some of them aren't. I have people that bring in guitars for a setup like this one. Like I said, we're doing a full-on review of this pretty soon, but this bridge was completely trashed on this one because it was so old. It was collapsed and rusted, and so I put a new bridge on here and notched it out and intonated it, and it's all ready to go. So I thought I'd just come on here and hang out with this one today. We did do a review already on this one, which is a 2003. This one's already been reviewed, so check out the review. I'll put the links somewhere. Just scroll through under the Les Paul playlist and look for the Silver Burst. You'll see this one on there. But yeah, these are beautiful. I just love these guitars. Not exactly light. This one's pretty heavy. This one is even heavier. This is ridiculous. There's one downside to these original Silver Bursts. It's the weight. This thing is like, I mean, literally a tree trunk. Again, going back to Adam Jones, who's probably the biggest Silverburst guy out there. He claims that has a lot to do with the automotive paint they used on these 70s ones, and just the wood and stuff like that. But they're definitely a unique, beautiful guitar, and it's just really cool to be able to play one. But no, James, thanks so much for being on board. It's great to spread the word. Any fellow guitar lovers, it's great. This is just so cool to be able to do this now, in 2024. Just Victor, James, a lot of you guys I've never even met before, but I feel like I know you because you're on here. We just bond through our love of guitars and music. You gotta love that. I mean, if you think about it, somebody would have told you we'd be doing this when I was a kid, I'd be like, what? I mean, this is like right out of the Jetsons, but I love it. I'm all about the Jetsons. So I'm gonna stay on here a little while more, you guys. Then I'm gonna go hang out with my dog, Callie. I was hoping to get her on here, but I think she's a little bit shy. Some of you know that story. Callie was, like I said, Connie's at Theater Fest and does a lot of theater stuff. We do a lot of theater stuff through our music store here in the Chicago area as well. And we're going to be bringing Miss Hannah on, who I don't know if she's still on here or not, but she was. We have to give her a proper big introduction online, which we're going to do. But I'm the next Trogley with all these great guitars. Well, thanks, James. I appreciate that. Anyway, yes, we're going to give Hannah a big proper introduction here pretty soon, but we do a lot of theater stuff, and she's going to be working with us. But years back, we did Annie, and our dog Callie was cast as Sandy the dog. And it's a funny story because we rehearsed with her all week. She came out on stage. The whole trick was that, Annie was going to keep treats in her pocket, and the dog would come out knowing she was going to get treats, which she did. Everything's great. Dog's ready to go. Opening night. Here we go. This is going to be awesome. First scene comes up. The dog walks out. Everybody in the theater goes, oh, the dog looks like, oh my God, there's people out there. Turned around and left. Never came back out on stage again. We'd never factored in the people factor. So Callie's not a big people camera attention dog. Not multiple people. If it's one-on-one, she'll take, loving all day. Connie is still here. So like I said, I'm going to stay on here a few more minutes with you guys. What's everybody, like I said, listening to today? What's everybody doing? Hibernating. That's not true. She totally came on stage again. She wouldn't go out there by herself. She had to have Annie with her, and Annie had to have bacon in her pocket. Yeah, but she wouldn't come back out like she would. You guys know what I'm saying. Yeah, no, dogs are awesome. You gotta love dogs, you guys. I mean, come on. There's dogs, there's coffee, there's guitars, there's certain things in life that just make it all worth living for. But yeah, dogs are awesome. Like I said, Callie was out earlier in the snow, rolling around, sub-zero temperatures. Oh, thanks, Jim. Yeah, it's really fun doing these. I love coming on here and I try to do one a week if I can, or even if I can, I do one a week. I try to get something out here weekly at least. Sometimes more if I'm able to. Yeah, I try to keep these, somewhat informative, but yet, I don't know what I'm trying to say, like, open enough that your casual viewer can get into it, if that makes any sense, without getting super, super technical. So like I said, spread the word. Always looking to get my subscribers up, you guys, but I'm super grateful to everybody that subscribes to this channel and is on board. So thank you guys so much. Hopefully everybody's having a great new year. Happy New Year. One of my students asked me the other day how long you keep saying Happy New Year for. I was like, well, I guess you could say it all year if you wanted to, but I'd say at least through January, I think we're good. We're not even really technically in the middle of January yet because it's not the 15th. So I guess we can, keep on saying at least here for another couple days. And a lot of people still have their Christmas decorations up, so I think we're good. But yes, I'll be doing a review of this one really soon. I'm actually going to put up a video tomorrow about this part on the so bad again this in the camera on these from 69 to about 1981. Gibson put these on here, and it's called a volute, and it's like a little, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's like a little bump behind the headstock, and they quit putting those on in about 82. But the original purpose of that was you could see the angle here that this headstock is tilted back at. So Gibson guitars are notorious for that. If this falls off a stand, the first thing that snaps is this headstock, usually because of that angle. So the thought was to put these on here to give that extra support right where the headstock meets the neck. And about 82, they got rid of that. And like I said, this is a 2003, and there's no volute on there. It's just, traditional, like what they always look like back here. But I think a lot of that's because Gibson has always tried to throw back to the 50s stuff, just because that's kind of what everyone seems to want. I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I think they appearance wise, they got rid of that, and the thought was it's not really doing anything anyway. So that's kind of my question for this week on the video I'm going to post tomorrow. We talk about these and just comment if you think that really does make a difference or not. I kind of do. I mean, it only makes sense that, if you add more mass to that piece of wood, it's going to be harder to break. Although I have seen plenty of 70s Gibsons with this that have broken headstocks too. So I don't know. I don't know if it was really a thing that made it worthwhile or not. But yeah, this is a beautiful example. This 78, it's in really great shape. And like I said, it's almost like a gold burst at this point. And you can kind of see the binding even is yellow. It's just with age, which originally it looked like that. So it's kind of amazing how that happens with somebody wrote in the other day asking about that. What makes that happen? Age, nitrocellulose lacquer is on these, so age is the big thing. But environment where it's kept at, climate control. If it's kept in a room temperature place its whole life and it's pretty much lived, where you live, then it's fine. If it was kept in a cold basement or in a really hot place or up in the attic or something like that, or if it was played out at clubs a lot and people were smoking and it was a hot smoke filled club and the guitar was in there every night of the week for 15 years, all that kind of stuff starts to affect the finish and whatnot. Ultimately, the best place to store your guitars, as far as keeping them safe, the age old poor man's method is wherever you feel comfortable, your guitar is comfortable. So, you wouldn't want to be in the trunk of a car, maybe, but but your guitar doesn't. You wouldn't want to be in a hot car, you wouldn't want to be in a cold car, you wouldn't want to sit on top of a heater for two, you know what I'm saying? So as long as you put your guitar where you're comfortable, you're pretty much good to go. All right, guys. I'm gonna stay on here a couple extra minutes. What were we saying here? James said something. Like I said, James, thanks for being on board. It's awesome to know you on here, and keep on commenting on everything and whatnot on the videos. I love it. It's always great to meet a fellow guitar lover, and I really appreciate you being on board. Have I ever tried a Maybach, Lester? I have not. Somebody else asked me this a little while ago and said the same thing, that they're just fantastic. I would love to try one, but I don't know why I have not. I just have not come across one yet. But are those made? I think those are made in America. I'm pretty sure. Um, Chinese New Year to look forward to, Victor. Yes. But yeah, like I said, not too much going on here. This is kind of a loose video, you guys. I said I'd stay on here for about an hour, and it's almost at that now. But like I said, if you're familiar with this channel, you kind of know. Usually, it's not just this loose. There's usually some purpose of coming on, but I just thought I'd come on here. I want to start doing this more often. I love just hanging out with you guys and chatting like this. And I thought tonight would be perfect because the gig got canceled, and I'm just like, what am I gonna do? So here I am, but I'm gonna get off here in a minute and go hang out with Callie, my tripod. She's a beautiful dog. I'm gonna go spend some time with her. I already did earlier, but I'm gonna go spend some more time with her. But yeah, I'm gonna start doing this more often. I think this is fun. It's just great to know all of you. Like I said, please spread the word. It doesn't cost you anything to hit that subscribe button, and I appreciate it more than you guys know. So if there's anybody cousins, friends, spread the word. Just tell them if they can click that subscribe button. I promise I won't bombard them with just stupid videos like this one. where there's no point. If you're into guitars and music and stuff, there's just always a purpose on there, and there's pretty much that's what I post. Usually it's every Sunday. A lot of times during the week, I'll put up, tribute videos to, different people we've lost. I know recently Hank Williams was one that we did. And, we've done like a lot of Howlin' Wolf. We did Jeff Beck, huge hero of mine. We just lost last year on January 10th. That was a rough one. Like I say in the video, I had just seen Jeff in October of 2022 when he came here. And then it was like 3 months later, I logged on to like Facebook that morning, and it was the thing about Jeff passing away. And of course, a lot of times you see that, and I was like, this can't be. And it was unfortunately true. But I still just couldn't believe that, because I say this on here all the time. Every time I saw Jeff Beck, he upped the ante. He raised the bar. It wasn't like sometimes when you get in your later years, like Jeff was, you start going to see people and you just are honored to see them. It's like, wow, I'm seeing this legend. He's awesome. He's not playing quite like he used to, but so what? He gave us some great music. He had his glory years. That's what we love him for. And I'm seeing this legend. This is fantastic. Great. But it wasn't ever like that with Jeff Beck. Every time you'd see him, you'd walk out of there like, that was the best show I've ever seen Jeff do. And he would do that every time. It was like, how long can this guy keep doing this for? He's pushing 80 years old. And then unfortunately we lost him. That was the show that Johnny Depp played with him, which I was there that night, and it was a whole man. There was some people that were not happy in the crowd. But I respect that. Jeff and Johnny were very tight. And Jeff Beck always did exactly what Jeff Beck wanted to do. And it's Jeff Beck's show and Jeff Beck's stage. So if he wanted to bring Johnny Depp on, he was gonna. And I'm just glad I was there, because, James Beck was awesome. Gary Moore, my God, what a monster. Love him. But yeah, we sure do miss Jeff. That was 1 year ago on January 10th. We lost him. It's just sad, because guys like that just broke so much ground and raised and set the bar for all of us guitar players. It's like you're looking around for like, who's that? There is nobody that's like, and I guess there really never will be. That's not a good way to think. And I need to correct myself for doing that when I think that way. There is nobody that's really going to come in and take their place. That's never going to happen. It's just cool to see everyone on this channel and me and you and everybody just kind of carrying on that great tradition of the guitar. That's, I think, just what it's going to be. And that's awesome. Anything we can do to keep the guitar going is just a beautiful thing on all levels. I mean, to me, if I love going into clubs and you'll see like a girl sitting on a stool strumming a guitar, singing like some almost like a folk song, and then upstairs, there's like a heavy metal band playing, and then on the third floor there's like a jazz trio or something. I love it. It's all just, it's like, if it's got substance to it and it's being played by a human being and it's real, count me in. I'm there, because that's really all that matters. It's good to see that all staying around in some form with guitar. But Tyler and Mayar, say hello. Tyler and Mayar, virtual hugs, you guys. Yes, I wish I was there, but I'm glad I'm not. No, I'm kidding. But I was thinking about going down there, and I did wish I was down there, but I'll get down there. Hey, we have a baby. Someone needs to watch. But no, I'm kidding. I do want to get down there one of these years. We're talking about Theater Fest, you guys. I'm sorry. I have like separate conversations going on here. Back to James for a minute. Germany company made in the Czech Republic. I'm going to check those guitars out or look for them. Thanks for giving me the heads up on that. Tyler and Mayar. I don't know if Connie told you my story. I don't even know if they're watching. So maybe I'm talking to the screen, but I'm going to go ahead anyway. But I'm going to have a cup of coffee first. And then like I said, Callie's waiting for me, so I'm going to leave here in a minute. But I have a story before I go. So stay warm, you guys. My story, Tyler and Mayar, if you're, hopefully you're listening. If not, Connie better relay this to you. But when I was a kid, I used to go out places all the time and, see the world, and I still love doing that. But first time I ever was at a hotel where they offered a continental breakfast. Chime in, you guys. You might be able to relate to this. I was like, I was, I remember saying, well, you could stay free continental breakfast. Well, I was a kid. I didn't know exactly what that meant. So in my mind, I'm thinking continental breakfast, like continents. Wow. Like the big continents, United States, Asia, South America, big continents, continental. This thing's going to be, I'm going to come down in the morning. It's going to be like 3 rooms of, sausage and eggs, and it's going to be more breakfast food than you've ever seen in this is fantastic. So I went to bed, almost couldn't even get to sleep the night before because I'm thinking, man, this continental breakfast, God, I just wish it was there now. I want to go downstairs and eat. Man, continental breakfast. I can't wait. I'm running on like 20 minutes sleep because I'm thinking about the continental breakfast all night. So the morning comes, and I come downstairs. I'm like looking around. There's nothing. I'm like, where's the? I'm like thinking there's gonna be like this line to get into the continental breakfast. There's like not even any people. I'm like, what is going on? Like maybe it's like down the hall or something. Maybe I'm in the wrong place. So this guy behind the counter, he's like one of these guys that's like watching everybody that's around. He's looking at me like, what is this guy doing? So he says, can I help you with something? And I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for the continental breakfast. He's like, it's right there. And I like, look, there's like a pot of coffee, some orange juice, and a tray of toast. And that was it. That was the continental. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, come on. I'm like waiting for somebody to jump out and be like, no, just kidding. The continental breakfast is down the hall. This is just the pre-continental breakfast that you can eat. But hey, have fun. No. So that real quick, I learned what continental breakfast means. That being said, a lot of places have really stepped it up. Thanks, James. I appreciate it. Like I said, we're doing a lot of tonight. I'm just being stupid out here hanging out. So because I'm getting out of the cold, but thanks. I appreciate you being on board, and I appreciate the comments and subscribing, man. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Look forward to talking with you again on here. Thanks for coming on tonight. But yes, Hannah, not the continent breakfast. How was Australia? Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I'm thinking like continents, Australia. That this is going to be big. Like, why is it called a continental breakfast? It should be called like the skimpy breakfast or the poor man's breakfast or the small breakfast or the continental breakfast. Who came up with this word? Anyway, I think it's deceiving. Stop it, hotels. But like I said, that being said, they have upped the game in the last few years. I know we went to a couple in the last 10 years or so. We've been at hotels, and I was like, this actually ain't half bad. They have actually upped the game. But that particular place, wow. You had your orange juice, coffee, and a tray of toast. That was it, man. That was the biggest continent you've ever seen. Anyway, all right. What is this? YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Instagram. I think we're live on everything. That's the whole point I wanted to come on here too, was to test out this streaming software and see if it's actually going to all the places it's supposed to in one shot. And it looks like maybe it's working, so that's good. But look for my video on the Volute, which is this little thing in the back. of the headstock tomorrow morning. I'll put up. Check out all my videos on here, music memorabilia, interviews. Like I said, Don Felder from the Eagles, Charlie Daniels. There's a ton of them. Peter Frampton. Check out my interviews below. You can hear us talking. Got some lessons on there, and we're always going to have more stuff coming up. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and spread the word. I'm always trying to get my subscribers up. Like I said, I'm not trying to conquer the world. If we do, that's great. But I'm just trying to connect with all you guys that are right here and people, fellow music and guitar lovers, and maybe people that just want to hang out on a cold night in January and they have nowhere else to go. So you're here, and I appreciate that. But cheers, you guys. Thank you to everyone that was on here tonight. Grab your coffee, drink up. I think I'm gonna go put a pot on because I'm gonna be hanging out with Callie for a while. We gotta find something good to watch tonight as I'm home early. But yes, thank you, Victor. Thank you, everyone, for being on board and for joining me here tonight. This is an impromptu, is that the word? Thing. Just wanted to come on here and say hello to all of you. So hope you're staying warm. Happy New Year, everyone. And yeah. That's right. Stay warm. It's bad out there. It's cold. I stepped out for a minute. I was like, wow, this is like brutal out here. Because I'm that guy that, like, garbage has to be ran out. I'm not putting my jacket on. Run out and throw it outside. It was cold. I was thinking I probably should have put my jacket on. But anyway. All right, so you guys take care, and I will see you soon. I want to start doing this more on a regular basis. This has been fun. But like I said, subscribe and spread the word. Hannah's got her coffee, yes. Yeah, Connie, let me know if I'm supposed to like put a official post about Hannah up. I know we are, but am I supposed to be doing that tonight? We have to officially announce you, Hannah, to the world. So we're going to do that soon. But anyway, all right, you guys. Happy New Year, Paulette. Great to see. Great to hear from you. Hope you guys are doing great out there in Indiana. And hope to see everyone soon. Happy New Year, you guys. Make 2024 a great one. Stay positive. That's the main thing. There's a lot of negative junk going on out there in the world, but just walk away from it. Grab a guitar, grab your coffee, pet your dog, and move on, because who's got time for that, right? All right, you guys, I will see you soon. Stay safe and love your dogs. And I'm never getting off here. No, I will see you guys soon. Take care. Stay safe and love your dogs, you guys. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Happy New Year. I will see you soon. Good night, you guys. Take care.